Welcome back to the channel, Top Coin, where we dive deep into the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the stories behind every piece of metal in your pocket. If you've ever thought a penny isn't worth much, think again. Because today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins you might have sitting around in a drawer, the 1967 1-cent coin from the United States of America. You heard that right. A simple penny from 1967 could be worth way more than just 1 cent. In fact, it could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on what you've got. So buckle up, grab a drink, and let's take a journey through history, economics, and numismatic secrets as we explore why the 1967 penny could be worth a small fortune today. Let's go back to the year 1967. The Vietnam War was raging, the Beatles were topping the charts, and America was changing fast. But something else was happening, something that would affect every single penny minted that year. The United States Mint was facing a coin shortage in the mid-60s. Just 2 years earlier, in 1965, the U.S. had made a major change. Silver was removed from circulating dimes, quarters, and half dollars. To help the public adjust and to prevent coin hoarding, the U.S. Mint also temporarily removed mint marks from all coins minted between 1965 and 1967. That means the 1967 penny doesn't have a mint mark, and that's just the beginning of what makes it interesting. All 1967 pennies were made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and they weigh 3.11 grams. They feature the familiar design by Victor David Brenner, with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, that's the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, or back. More than 3 billion pennies were struck in 1967. Over 3.04 billion, to be exact. That might sound like a lot, and it is. But as always in the world of coins, it's not just about how many were made, it's about what survived, what was preserved, and what rare features might exist. Now you're probably asking, if they made billions of these coins, why would anyone pay more than a penny for one? Great question. The answer lies in a few key factors: condition, rarity, and errors. Let's break this down. Condition. A 1967 penny that's been passed around in people's pockets for decades is likely worth only its copper value, maybe a few cents. But a 1967 penny in uncirculated, mint state condition, we're talking bright, shiny, never used, can fetch way more. Some examples graded MS 65 or higher have sold for $20, $50, even over $100. The finest known pieces, graded MS 67 or better, can go for hundreds of dollars at auction. Errors and varieties. This is where things get really exciting. During high mintage years like 1967, mistakes happen. And those mistakes can turn a humble penny into a collector's dream. Some known and valuable error types for 1967 pennies include double die errors. This happens when the coin design is stamped twice, slightly off, creating a doubling effect. Look for doubling on the date, the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." These can sell for hundreds, depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Off-center strikes. If the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, you might find a 1967 penny that's missing part of its design. The more off-center, the more valuable it can be. A 50% off-center strike with full date visible? That's a jackpot. Clip planchet. If the blank metal disc used to make the coin was improperly cut, you might get a coin with a missing section. These can also bring in serious money. Struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a penny struck on a dime planchet, smaller, lighter, and silver-colored. These ultra-rare errors have sold for hundreds or thousands. All right, now that you know what to look for, let's talk about how to find the gold, or copper, in this case, hiding in plain sight. Step 1. Get a magnifying glass or a coin loupe. You'll want to examine every detail, especially the date, the letters, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Step 2. Check the weight. A regular 1967 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. Anything significantly lighter or heavier could be a sign of an error or rare variety. Step 3. Look for luster and sharpness. Uncirculated coins will have a distinct shine and crisp design details, especially in Lincoln's hair and beard and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Step 4. Research sold prices. Go to sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions and search 1967 Lincoln Cent MS67 or 1967 penny double die to see what people are actually paying today. So, what's the market saying right now? As of 2024 and into 2025, the market for error coins and high-grade vintage pennies is hotter than ever. With inflation, rising copper prices, and increased interest in alternative investments, collectors and investors are looking at coins as a safe haven for wealth. A top-graded MS67 1967 penny recently sold for around $700, and coins with rare double-die errors can easily break $1,000. Even circulated coins with noticeable errors can still sell for $20 to $100. Not bad for a coin that cost you a penny. Plus, the 1967 penny's unique place in U.S. coinage history, minted during a transitional period with no mint marks, makes it extra desirable among collectors who want a full Lincoln cent set. If you found a 1967 penny that looks promising, don't rush to sell it just yet. Here's what you can do. Get it graded. Send it to a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can drastically increase a coin's value. Store it properly. Use acid-free holders or coin flips to protect your coin from damage. Never clean it. Cleaning can ruin its value. Do your research, check auction results, and market trends to time your sale for maximum value. Join coin forums. Places like CoinTalk or Reddit's r/coins can be great for feedback, identification, and connecting with buyers. There you have it. The story of the 1967 1-cent coin. From billions minted to a handful of priceless rarities, this humble little penny might just be your ticket to an unexpected payday. Go check your change jars, dig through old coin collections, or ask your grandparents if they've got a stash. You never know what treasures you might find. If you learned something new today, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos about coins, collectibles, and hidden wealth. Got a cool 1967 penny or another rare coin story? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. A secret, and possibly a fortune behind it. Stay with me as we dive deep into the unbelievable world of the 1972 United States 1-cent coin, the Lincoln penny that might just make you rich. Let's rewind the clock to the early 1970s. America is deep in cultural change. Vietnam, civil rights movements, the Apollo missions. But in the world of coins, something seemingly ordinary was quietly being minted: the 1972 Lincoln cent. At first glance, this penny looks like every other one. Made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, it features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front side of the coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait has been on the penny since 1909. His initials VDB are subtly etched below Lincoln's shoulder. But here's where things get fascinating. In 1972, the U.S. Mint struck more than 5.5 billion pennies. Yes, billion with a B. They were produced at 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver coins bear the D mint mark just below the date. But the most incredible coins? They came from Philadelphia, and they don't have a mint mark at all. Out of those billions of coins, a very small number, just a few thousand, were struck with a minting error that collectors now obsess over. This rare error is known as the double die obverse. What does that mean? Well, when coins are struck at the mint, a die imprints the design onto blank metal discs. But sometimes, due to a slight misalignment during the manufacturing process, the die creates a doubled image. In the case of the 1972 penny, this doubling is clear and visible, especially on the inscriptions. Look at the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1972. If those letters appear blurry or look like they've been stamped twice, you could be looking at a treasure in the palm of your hand. This is not a minor anomaly. The doubling on a true 1972 double die obverse is dramatic. It jumps out. It's bold. And because it's so visible, collectors are willing to pay a premium, sometimes a huge one, for well-preserved examples. Let's talk numbers. What is a 1972 penny worth today? If it's just a regular one, without any minting errors, it's typically worth about 1 cent. Maybe a few cents more if it's in uncirculated condition. But if you've got that rare double die obverse, the game changes. In circulated condition, this coin can easily be worth $200 to $300. But in mint state condition, say, graded MS 65 or higher by a reputable coin grading company like PCGS or NGC, this little copper coin can fetch $1,000, $2,000, even up to $5,000 depending on the eye appeal and exact condition. And here's the kicker. A top-graded 1972 double-die obverse penny, in absolutely pristine condition, once sold at auction for over $14,000. $14,000 for a single penny. Even some minor variations, like the 1972's proof pennies from San Francisco, carry added value if they're in flawless condition. But make no mistake, the true prize is that rare double-die coin from Philadelphia. So now you're probably wondering, how do I find out if I have one of these rare coins? First, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check the words on the front of the coin. Do the letters in Liberty or the date look thicker, almost as if they're shadowed or doubled? That's your first clue. If you think you've found one, the next step is to have it graded and authenticated. You can send it to PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. These are trusted third-party grading services. Once certified, the coin's value becomes official. You'll have proof that you're holding a rare piece of American minting history. From there, you can sell it at auction, list it online, or even bring it to a coin dealer. But be careful, don't jump at the first offer. Get multiple evaluations. Rarity, condition, and demand all affect the final price. What's incredible is how many of these rare pennies might still be out there, sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, old coffee cans, or inside piggy banks. They've been quietly hiding in plain sight for over 50 years. Here's a fun fact. The US Mint didn't even know about the error when these coins first hit circulation. It wasn't until collectors started noticing the odd doubling that the 1972 penny became legendary. And today, it remains one of the most famous error coins in American history, right up there with the 1955 double die and the 1943 copper penny. So, is it time to check your old coins? Absolutely. That handful of pennies in your car's cup holder or the drawer in your nightstand could be holding a rare gem. A penny that history forgot, but collectors remember. If you learn something new or feel inspired to go treasure hunting in your change jar, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video on coin collecting, hidden treasures, and valuable finds. Tell us in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? Or do you think your 1972 penny could be the real deal? We'd love to hear your story. Today's journey takes us deep into the world of US coinage, and we've got a copper-clad mystery that has captivated experts, numismatists, and investors for decades. We're talking about the 1-cent coin from the year 1975. Yes, the humble penny, forged in the heart of the United States, carries with it not just the face of Abraham Lincoln, but a story of value, scarcity, error, and collector frenzy. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you might just start checking every old penny in your pocket change. First, let's rewind the clock back to 1975. The United States was going through immense change. The Vietnam War had just ended, the Cold War was intensifying, and a gallon of gas cost less than $1. Amid all this, the US Mint continued its duty of producing coins for circulation, including over 5.4 billion 1-cent coins struck in Philadelphia and nearly 4.5 billion in Denver. That's a lot of pennies, but not all pennies are created equal. The 1975 penny is special, not because it's incredibly rare, at least not at first glance, but because of what lies beneath the surface. Let's break it down. This coin was made primarily of copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc, to be exact. It features the iconic side profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. The design itself may be familiar, but when you take a closer look, this coin holds more intrigue than you might expect. The 1975 penny comes in several varieties, and this is where things get juicy for collectors. First, we have the 1975 No Mint Mark penny, struck in Philadelphia. These are common, but certain specimens in pristine, uncirculated condition with perfect luster and no contact marks can fetch a surprising amount at auction. In fact, did you know that a 1975 penny graded MS67 red by PCGS, that's mint state 67 with full red color, once sold for over $1,000? That's right, a 1-cent coin worth 100,000% more than its face value. And that's just the beginning. Then we have the 1975 D penny, produced in Denver. These also have collector potential, especially in high grades. But what really sends the value of a 1975 penny through the roof are the errors, the freak accidents, the misstrikes, and the anomalies that slip through the strict quality control at the mint. Let's talk about double dies. These are coins that were struck twice with slightly different die alignments, leading to doubled images on the date, lettering, or even Lincoln's profile. While no widely recognized 1975 double die has reached the fame of the 1955 or 1969 S varieties, rare error coins from this year have been discovered and sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on severity and visibility. Other valuable 1975 errors include off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, resulting in a partial design. These can be worth between $50 to several $100s based on how off-center they are and whether the date remains visible. Die cracks, die chips, and even clipped planchets, where part of the metal blank is missing, are also sought after by collectors who specialize in mint errors. Each one is unique, a one-of-a-kind glitch in the matrix of coin production. Now let's fast forward to the present. The coin market in 2025 has seen a massive boom in interest thanks to online auctions, YouTube communities, TikTok influencers, and record-breaking sales of rare coins. Even seemingly ordinary coins, when preserved properly or carrying rare traits, can spark bidding wars. Collectors today are looking at coins like the 1975 penny not just as historical objects, but as potential investments. Some are hoarding rolls of these coins, hoping to spot that one gem, that one misprint, off-center strike, or ultra-high-grade example that might be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And let's not forget about proofs. Although the San Francisco Mint didn't produce business strike pennies in 1975, they did strike-proof coins. These proof 1975 S pennies, with their mirror-like fields and sharp details, are hot items in the collector market. A flawless proof 70 can demand top dollar, especially if it's designated deep cameo. So what does this all mean for you? Well, if you've got a box of old coins in the attic, or if your spare change jar is overflowing, now might be the time to take a second look. You never know, that one 1975 penny tucked away in a jar or passed down through generations might just be worth a fortune. Check for errors. Look for high-quality surfaces. Compare with online grading guides or even consider sending it off to be certified by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC.to. Wrap it all up. The 1975 United States 1-cent coin may be small in size, but its story is massive. From billions minted to rare errors, from proof coins to modern market surges, this little copper coin holds value far beyond its face. Whether you're in it for the history, the thrill of the hunt, or the potential payday, the 1975 penny proves that treasure isn't always buried deep. Sometimes, it's hiding right in plain sight. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change. And if you find something amazing, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more coin collecting content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a discovery. Have you ever looked at a simple coin in your pocket and wondered if it might be worth far more than just 1 cent? Imagine holding a tiny piece of copper that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1980 United States 1-cent coin. Yes, that humble little penny that many of us overlook may be a hidden gem in your collection. So stay tuned, because in this video, we're going to uncover everything about the 1980 Lincoln penny, the rich history behind it, the special variations that make it valuable, the market demand, collector secrets, and most importantly, how much it's worth today. You don't want to miss this. Let's begin. The 1-cent coin has been a part of American currency since the late 1700s, but it was in 1909 when the image of President Abraham Lincoln first appeared on the penny. This was a groundbreaking moment. It was the first time a real person, a beloved president, was featured on a circulating U.S. coin. Fast forward to 1980. America was going through economic challenges, inflation was on the rise, and the value of copper itself was increasing. The Lincoln cent from this era, minted in massive quantities, may seem common, but not all 1980 pennies are created equal. Some are worth a fortune today because of tiny minting errors, rare varieties, and pristine uncirculated conditions. The 1980 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can tell where your coin was minted by looking at the tiny mint mark just under the date. If there's no mark, it came from Philadelphia. A small D means it was minted in Denver. An S indicates the San Francisco Mint. Each of these mints produced millions of pennies, but it's the small details that make some of them exceptionally valuable. Let's talk about the features of the 1980 Lincoln penny. On the front side, known as the obverse, you'll see the familiar bust of President Lincoln. Just to the right is the date, 1980. Below that, depending on the mint, is the mint mark. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left, Liberty. On the back, or reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Look closely, and you'll notice even the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting between the columns. This is where it gets interesting. While most of these pennies are only worth face value, there are rare variations and mint errors that can make a 1980 penny incredibly valuable. Some 1980 pennies have what collectors call double-die errors. This means that during the minting process, the coin design was stamped more than once, but not in perfect alignment. The result is a doubling of letters, numbers, or features on the coin, often most noticeable in the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date 1980. A 1980 penny with a clear and dramatic double-die error can fetch hundreds of dollars, and in rare cases, over $1,000 depending on its condition. Another type of valuable error is the off-center strike. If the penny design is not perfectly centered, say 5 to 90% off, it becomes highly collectible. The more dramatic the error while still showing part of the date, the more valuable the coin. Then there are die cracks, cuds, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. These are rare, but when they surface, collectors pay a premium to own these mistakes of the mint. Condition matters a lot. Coin collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70 to determine a coin's condition. A coin graded MS 60 or above is considered mint state, meaning it has never been used in circulation and shows no signs of wear. An MS 65 or higher is even more pristine, often with shiny luster and sharp details. A 1980 penny in average circulated condition might only be worth 1 cent, but a 1980 penny in MS 67 or better condition, especially with a red luster, can be worth $10, $50, or even over $100 depending on demand and rarity. And remember those error coins we talked about? If one of those is also in mint condition, its value can skyrocket. Let's talk current market value. On popular auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections, 1980 pennies with special errors or top grades often sell for impressive prices. A double-die Lincoln cent from 1980 recently sold for over $300. Off-center strikes have gone for $100 to $250. A coin in MS 67 red condition from a trusted grading service can demand prices upwards of $200. Even more common 1980 D or 1980 S pennies can be valuable if they're flawless. So before you toss that penny into a jar, take a closer look. You could be holding a miniature treasure. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1980 penny? First, examine the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling in the letters, off-center strikes, unusual textures, or any abnormalities. Second, consider getting your coin graded. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can certify the condition and authenticity of your coin, which adds credibility and often increases its market value. Third, keep your coin in a protective holder, especially if it's uncirculated or an error coin. Don't clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and actually decrease the value. And finally, stay informed. The coin market changes over time. What's worth $50 today might be worth double next year as collectors' interests shift and new errors are discovered. The 1981 cent coin is more than just pocket change. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of Lincoln's legacy, and for some, a golden, or rather copper, opportunity. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just getting started in coin collecting, never underestimate the value of a single penny. So go ahead, check your coin jars, search your pocket change, and keep an eye out for those tiny details. You just might strike copper gold. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, rare currency, and money you might already own, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video, and tell us in the comments, have you ever found a rare or valuable coin in your change? We'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, coin lovers. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most underestimated coins in American history, the 1994 1-cent coin from the United States of America. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this penny is gaining major attention from collectors worldwide, but also how to spot the ones that are worth a fortune. Let's travel back to the year 1994. Bill Clinton was president. The internet was still a mysterious new frontier. Friends hadn't aired on TV yet. And in the midst of it all, the United States Mint quietly pressed millions of humble 1-cent coins bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, the same design that's been featured on the penny since 1909. But here's the catch. Not all 1994 pennies are created equal. Some were struck with minor errors. Some came from specific mints. And a rare few were produced using special materials or processes. And it's these exceptions, these numismatic anomalies, that have collectors scrambling to find them and pay handsomely for the right one. So, what exactly makes a 1994 penny valuable? Let's start with the basics. The 1994 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series. This design features the bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It's composed mostly of zinc with a thin copper plating. This change in composition happened in 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched from mostly copper to mostly zinc to reduce manufacturing costs. Now, in 1994, there were three main types of pennies minted. 1994 No Mint Mark. Minted in Philadelphia 1994. D. Minted in Denver 1994. S. Proof coins minted in San Francisco. Each of these coins has different values based on their condition, mint mark, and potential errors. Now here's where things get really interesting. The vast majority of 1994 pennies are worth just 1 cent. That's the plain truth. But some rare varieties and mint errors have sent coin values soaring at auctions and online marketplaces. Let's break down the types that are fetching big bucks. Point 1. Double die error is one of the most sought-after varieties is the 1994 double die penny. This is when the die used to stamp the coin has been misaligned, causing a doubling effect. You'll usually notice it in the date or the lettering, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see clear doubling, hold on tight. That penny could be worth hundreds. Point 2. Off-center strikes. Off-center errors are another collector favorite. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned with the die. The more off-center the strike, the higher the value, especially if the date is still fully visible. A 1994 penny with a 50% off-center strike can be valued at over $250. Sometimes even more if it's in mint state condition. Point 3. Clip planchet errors. These are rare and involve the coin being struck on a blank that wasn't fully cut from the metal sheet. It looks like someone took a bite out of your penny. These clip planchet errors are visually striking and can fetch good money. Point 4. Wrong planchet errors. Imagine a penny being struck on a dime or foreign coin blank. These are incredibly rare but do exist. Some 1994 pennies have been found struck on different metals, making them valuable due to their composition and scarcity. So let's talk real numbers. Here's a general guide to what these coins are worth in today's collector's market. A standard 1994 penny with no mint mark in circulated condition is usually worth just 1 cent, but in uncirculated condition, it could be worth around 10 to 50 cents. A 1994 D penny in mint state can fetch anywhere from 20 cents to $1.50, depending on the grade. The 1994 S-proof penny, found only in special collector sets, is more desirable. In PR 69 deep cameo condition, it could be worth $8 to $20, and sometimes more if it's in perfect PR 70 condition. A 1994 double die penny, depending on how strong the doubling is, can sell for $100 to over $500. A 1994 penny with major off-center error can range from $75 to $300 or more, depending on how dramatic the strike is. Rare composition or wrong planchet pennies have sold at auction for over $2,000. Yes, a $2,000 penny. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these valuable coins? Here's what you do. First, grab a magnifying glass and start inspecting your 1994 pennies. Look closely at the date, the lettering, and the edges. Check for doubling, unusual shapes, or misalignments. Second, compare your coin to images online from reputable coin grading sites. There are tons of reference photos available to help you identify potential errors. Third, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will examine, grade, and encapsulate your coin, giving it official market credibility, which can dramatically increase the price you can get for it. Finally, if you have a rare variety or error, list it on auction sites like eBay. or contact a local coin dealer or auction house that specializes in numismatics.so. The next time you come across a 1994 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment. Look closely. That little coin could hold a surprising story, a rare flaw, or a historical oddity that makes it far more valuable than its face value. And who knows, you might be sitting on a copper-coated gold mine without even realizing it. Coins are more than just currency. They're pieces of history. And in some cases, they're tickets to unexpected wealth. So get out your piggy bank. Flip through your old coin jars. Who knows what treasures are waiting to be discovered? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden coin treasures, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, because next time, we're diving into the world of silver dimes, rare quarters, and error coins that could make you a fortune. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting.